What's up guys, it's day 242 on our journey to 2000, and in today's video we're going to play a 10-minute rapid game. Okay, let's see how this goes. We're versing a 1745 from Seychelles. Wow, that's such an interesting looking flag. And we're going into the French defense and the Franco-Sicilian defense? What? I don't think I've ever played this before. So if I take, he takes, or I don't remember ever playing this. There's some quick targets on this F square. So let's see. We could take, he takes back. We could develop the knight so that this doesn't really come with any threats. Let's take. Let's develop the knight and see what he does. Okay, we could come in with a check, but I don't really know what that check does. Let's just develop the other knight and play normally. Okay, so he stops that stuff. What else do we have? I'm thinking bishop g5, knight develops. Pawn pushes, pawn takes, queen takes, king takes, castle with check. But then this pawn will fall and we're already down a pawn. So I don't know how good that is, but it does look interesting, so let's try it. Now, of course, he could also ignore it and bring... Okay, he does that instead, which is an interesting looking move. We still have this pawn move. Takes, takes, takes. Maybe rook comes in with a check like this instead. He goes back. Is sacking a pawn here really a good idea? Now, what if he just ignores it and pushes it forward? Then maybe we could start an attack. Maybe we develop this bishop. It's not very clear. We could also just check and then take. Let's do this. If he pushes forward, I think we're still okay. But maybe I should have thought of this position more. Very weird. Okay, so he takes. We're just gonna take then. Now, we could castle, but then he comes here. I think it's better to come here. But then he could threaten this. But then we have this. A lot of things could happen here. If we castle with a check, he can go to many directions. But he's most likely going to go here to protect the knight. Then we could take the knight. He could take it back with the king. Then we could take this. And that looks pretty decent-ish. But I feel like we have a better set of moves. For example, knight e4 attacking the bishop looks nice. Then where does this bishop go? He could go all the way back. Then we castle. And the difference here is we just have more pieces to do stuff with. I'm not sure. Of course, if we come knight e4, he does have the opportunity to attack our bishop. And that kind of ruins all of this stuff. So we could take, he could take. Actually, we could check. I think maybe checking first is good. Let's do that. That looks wrong. What if the knight comes here attacking the bishop? We could also come here. He could take. We could take. So that doesn't make sense. Here, he could come here. Take, take, take. Push. Here, here, here. It doesn't really look that great. I want to do this knight move then. If he attacks, we take. If he takes, we can still take here. Let's do that. So our opponent barely spent any time thinking until now. Probably a good time to think, because if he moves the bishop away from protecting the knight, then we're going to be able to pick it up. So he has to be careful with this next move, I think. Okay, this makes sense. If we take, though, and he takes, we can take. The position looks pretty good for us, maybe. We have a lot of pieces doing stuff. But do we have to lose this bishop? What if we pull it back? He can push forward. We can come back. And this threatens a check as well. But then he could just block. So let's say here, 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 here. And he gets his bishop to safety. We could take with check, winning this as well. So let's see what happens. Okay, that was expected. Not a great position for our opponent, maybe. Okay, so he brings the bishop to safety, but now he's going to lose the rook. Maybe there's something better I'm missing here, but I don't see it, so we're just going to take. Okay, do we have anything else? Maybe there's some checkmate here. We do have this check. Is taking the rook the smartest move here? It might be, but let's think a little bit here. We do have this check. He could go back to where he was. Actually, that would be his only legal move. Then we have a discovered check, which he cannot block. But then he has more options, and our rook kind of gets poo-pooed on. So let's just take this. Okay, so he resigns. That was a fast game, and we're rated 1771. I want to go over that game. I've never seen that opening, and it was very interesting. So let's go over it. Wow, we played with 95.5% accuracy. Again, I'm getting excited, even though it was a short game, but that's still pretty cool. I don't know how many moves it was. It was like 14 moves, so it was definitely a short game. We played like 2350s, Jesus. And we had one inaccurate move, so we'll just go over it slightly, but there might not be a huge lesson from today's game. Okay, so we started with this. Yeah, taking was not the best move. This was our one good move as opposed to great or awesome or whatever. It's just in the Sicilian, typically you take here, but taking doesn't make sense. I don't know why I did it, because it allows his bishop to come out. Oops. So it doesn't make sense to give him that activity. Computer likes d5 more, and I guess if he takes here, the idea is what? I shouldn't take with the queen, because then again, it's kind of a similar idea of letting him bring a piece out, which is why computer likes me taking with the pawn here. And then knight f6. I would consider knight c3 just to defend this pawn, but computer likes knight f3 actually, because this pawn's already defended. And I guess, or what is the computer like? I'm always confused by the analysis of the computer. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Now computer says c4 is the move, which looks stupid because the bishop could just take it. So d6 is a potential move to bring this bishop out, knight f3, and maybe you just continue the game, and the idea is that these pawns are, this pawn is specifically, the d6 pawn is very weak, but our pawn is a little overextended. It's very far away from all our other pieces, especially pawns. But his king feels kind of more dangerous in a more dangerous situation than ours. Computer likes knight d7, bishop d3. I'm just gonna play quickly what, if anyone knows this opening, feel free to let me know what some good moves could be. This stops the knight from taking the pawn back. Then we have g6 as a move, and then computer likes knight c3. It just looks like the moves that white has to make are much easier, much kind of quicker. They make a lot more sense. And here, computer likes bishop g5. Let's just say the pawn comes in to push. I'll say that's a move someone might consider. You bring the bishop back. He still can't take this because of all the pressure. And what if he tries to target quickly all your stuff here? Well, computer says, okay, well, this is just completely winning. I can even see how this is completely winning. Okay. So yeah, this weak pawn falls. That's if they were to play f6 or f5, whatever I ended up playing. So very weird opening. But we ended up playing it like this, just developing pieces normally. And our one inaccurate move was, of course, a pawn move. Computer prefers queen d2. I'm guessing to connect these pieces, maybe queenside castle and have a strong attack on this center pawn. That would make sense in my head. Something like this, this, and we already have access here. And now if he takes, then we have takes, takes, we have takes, takes, and we have takes. No, okay, we don't have takes. We have knight e4. And this is actually a similar position to what happened in the game. This knight targeting the center pawn, this knight targeting the bishop, trying to deflect it away from this knight. And if you do something like this, actually, you can just take because this is just a winning position anyway. These pawns are just, this pawn specifically is just super weak. And probably taking this is better to secure gaining this in the future. I mean, that would be bad. You just lose that. So, and it's not very easy to make moves here, I think. Computer likes a4. This would be kind of very obvious moves to make, I think. And yeah, these pawns are just really, really bad. So let's go back into the position. I would never play this opening. And here, yeah, I said, what if he pushes forward? And I was kind of right. I said, okay, if he takes, I feel like I'm in a good position. If he pushes forward, I'm not sure what I would do. And I was kind of right because it feels, well, the computer kind of says my advantage goes away. And it makes sense, right? He closes off all the attacks to his position. He can castle. He can start developing semi-normally. So this pawn move by me was definitely not a good move. And keeping that more active to see what he would do is smarter. For example, if something like this is, oops, this is just a checkmate. So that would be pretty cool, right? And here, let's say he, I don't know, brings the bishop here to try to change stuff up. Well, now you can start taking stuff And he can't take here because we're putting pressure here. And I don't know, let's say he develops this. We can start deflecting pieces away. And this could be very annoying for our opponent. I mean, this looks very annoying for me, and I'm not even playing this. I think this is a checkmate, right? Yeah. So, very closed off, weird opening to play. I don't know why this person chose to play it, but let's continue analyzing. Okay, castling was correct. I didn't like this move because I saw this as a potential annoying move. Even though I did see that this fork would be possible, the check still comes into play. So there's all of that. I'm happy I found the best move. I mean, this simply just protects my king and brings a very strong player into the game, which is the rook. And here I played the best move in the only move in the position that works. I think that's what a blue move means. This would be really bad because now I don't have this fork. And I don't even know how I would continue from here. Maybe something like this. And computer likes even taking like this. Probably because there's some sort of, there's some sort of way to break through in this position. Computer likes this, and you win the knight. So there's a lot of tricks just because the king is out in the open. So maybe there wasn't really a way to screw up, but I played this really nicely. I was kind of proud of myself. And here I was talking about if he pushes the pawn one step further. I think I was mentioning that the knight can just come here and we still have our stuff going on. But this seems even better because of a discovered attack allowing us to win the rook anyway. Something like this trying to avoid the discovered attack doesn't work because we can even just take here. And there's just too many tricks in this position to warrant any sort of victory. That was a very easily won game. And you see here kind of a similar kind of idea as in the past. So a very, 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 very hard game to do well in, I think, for our opponent, just because of what was going on here. But yeah, very, very bad. Look at this. Jesus Christ. And here there's a mate in 4 apparently. Now this could be very good for puzzle practice or something. I would say the biggest lesson from this game, I don't know how to take a lesson from this. I feel like we played this really, really well. But maybe the biggest lesson is if someone plays a weird opening, then there might be a reason why it's a weird opening and people don't use it much. Because it's not that good. But I think this pawn move was definitely a bad move. I lost my advantage completely with it. So center pawn pushes, allowing other center pawn pushes and not opening up a position when you have the advantage with pieces and development. Maybe that's the lesson here. Again, we're trying to take a lesson from each day, each video, each game we play. So that's today's lesson, I believe. And yeah, like what do you do here? I suppose for white, you just keep developing and keep putting pressure. And maybe the big idea was queenside castling is very strong in this position. Just gaining this battery in the middle of the board. Yeah, instead of pushing here, we could have gone for that a little earlier, which we showed this a bit before, but yeah. Okay, if you guys enjoyed watching this far, say rainbow, because rainbow flag actually. That's what the flag looks like. It looks like a rainbow flag. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.